Happy New Year, guys! We have not done Kamy Daniel Eats Tries in a little while, so I thought I would do one today. We're gonna try the lasagna soup. It's not the viral one by Danny Eats Pasta, or Danny Loves Pasta. It's a different one that my coworker tried, and she gave me a bite, and it was so good. So I'm gonna try making myself now. So it calls for all these ingredients here. I'm making a few modifications. Instead of heavy cream, I'm going to use coconut cream, which I have pre-frozen in little cubes. And then instead of making the cottage cheese mixture, I'm going to just throw in some boursin because I'm rich like that. Okay, so I already browned up my 1 pound of Italian sausage. And the next step is to coat these onions for 5 minutes. So let's do that. We're going to just brown these up a little bit. 5 minutes sounds excessive to me because it is going to boil as a soup later, but I'm going to go ahead and follow the recipe just because the guy seemed like he knew what he was doing. Okay, let's jump back in a little bit. So it's only been like a minute and a half and they already look pretty good to me. But I'm going to make use of my time. While this is browning, I'm actually breaking up my lasagna pieces into bite-sized pieces. The guy in the video actually had smaller pieces of pasta, but my friend used whole lasagna, did you call them slabs? Sheets? I don't know. Anyway, they were really fun to eat that way, so I'm following her. Okay, so it looks good after like 3 minutes. So I just threw in my garlic. It calls for, this is 1 medium little onion and 6 cloves of garlic. I used 7 cloves because I love me some garlic. Saute that, and then it says to add the tomato paste, the canned tomatoes. And here's the funny thing. So the guy in the recipe used like these whole tomatoes, so I bought the same whole tomatoes. And then he says, then break up the tomatoes once you put it in. And I'm like, why didn't you just buy crushed tomatoes and make it easier on yourself? I will do that next time. But this time I was a fool, and now I'm gotta crush it up manually. So I'm gonna do this, add my 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and then it'll be time to add broth and spices. Okay, so I have started adding in my 7 cups of broth. It called for 7 cups of chicken broth. I am cheating and using the chicken bouillon and hot water. I also have a little bit of vegetable broth left over, so I just threw that in. So I did 6 cups chicken and 1 cup vegetable. And then we throw in our spices. This is 2 teaspoons parsley, 2 teaspoons oregano, 2 teaspoons basil, 2 teaspoons Italian seasoning. Throwing all that in there. And so add red pepper to taste. We like things spicy. I actually use a hot Italian sausage when I chose my sausage for this dish, so we're gonna make it spicy. And then now it just says bring to a boil. Oh no, wait, we need to add the noodles and the heavy cream. So let's do that. Okay, so we're doing our noodles. These are all nice and broken up. And for the heavy cream, it says a 1/4 cup. And as I mentioned, I'm using coconut cream for the health factor. I'm gonna guess about 2 of these cubes is about a 1/4 cup. Throw those in there. Coconut cream is nice to cook with because it has that fat content that you need for dishes that call for heavy cream. But it doesn't taste like coconut, so it's not gonna ruin your dish at all or give it an unwanted flavor. Okay, so we are just, oh wait, I need to add the sausage too. Let's do that. And the sausage goes. Okay. And then now we just bring it to a boil, and then once it brings to boil, or comes to boil, then we reduce it to medium heat. I think the recipe called for 16-ounce box of pasta, and my friend said, you know, that seemed like excessive, so she only used 8 ounces, so I'm following suit and just doing 8 ounces too. come back after it boils for about 15 minutes. Okay, so our soup is done boiling. The noodles seem cooked. They were soft enough for me to break with this wooden spoon. In retrospect, it looks like I made these sheets a little big. Look how big this thing is. So I've been just kind of cutting it with the spoon in the pot, just to make it a little easier to eat. But yeah, I think it's time to serve it up and see how it tastes. Or I guess I can taste it here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, just get a small little bit here, just to taste it. It's good. I didn't add any salt because my husband likes to have a low salt diet, but I think I'm gonna add at least a little bit and maybe some more pepper. Okay, just a little bit of salt going in. This is a pretty big pot. And we'll do some black pepper. You know, even though I used chili flakes in the hot sausage, it doesn't taste spicy to me. Maybe I should add some more of those flakes. Let's do that, because it's a pretty big pot. Okay, I've turned my stove off so it doesn't overcook now, but I think I might let it sit for a few minutes just to absorb some of that salt and pepper, and then we'll taste again. Okay, so we're ready to eat. Actually, I forgot to record my reaction. I already started eating, so let's just pretend. But anyway, yeah, so consistency looks good. It's nice and hearty, like it's not too soupy. It's more, I don't know, hearty, whatever. Anyway, let's try it. Okay, it's good. It's pretty tomatoey. I probably could have gone heavier on the spices, just to give it a little more interest. The noodles cooked well in the broth and have a nice chewy texture. Overall, the flavor is pretty good. It's got a small kick to it. I wouldn't call it spicy. Well, not to our standards. But I probably wouldn't add more spice than this just because I don't want it to overpower the other flavors. So I think it's a keeper. I'll probably adjust it next time to have more of the Italian seasoning, and as I mentioned, cut up these little sheets smaller because, I mean, they're pretty big. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy my dinner. Thanks for joining us on this lovely night where we made soup on a perfect for a cold winter night. I'm rambling because I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go. Bye.